Hey everyone, it's Tosh. I'm finally getting to the well requested and most anticipated Nipsey Hussle channeled reading. As many of you know, I channel Nipsey often, but for whatever reason, every time I have to, it's fine when I do it on my own because who cares if I cry? But um, doing it on here, it was really, really hard for me to get through it. It's very he's like a very large energy, and it can sometimes be very emotional. Also, he's one of like very few energies. Like I do have physical medium capabilities, but I also am a channeler as well. With that being said, I have pretty good control of my energy, so I don't usually experience a lot of the physical medium symptoms as severely as some other mediums. But with him, it's very severe. So I was experiencing like physical, like even vomiting, just different reactions I was having to like the rapid pain that was inflicted with his passing. So I opted to instead do some channeling, but utilizing a method that I don't know. I feel like a lot of psychics don't use it as much anymore, but it is one of my favorite things to use, which is automatic writing. So basically, a form of channeling where you let the energy you're working with or contacting to kind of speak through you, and I wrote it down. So we have lots and lots and lots of pages of this was kind of just the safest way for me to do it energetically. Um, and so that way I could get through it and not be crying like ugly cry Kim Kardashian face on here with you guys. So we are going to get into it. So Nipsey Hussle, Ermias, who by the way, Ermias does mean God will rise. So I feel like that is that's very crucial to just his overall energy to point that out first. Nipsey was born August 15th, 1985. He's a Leo like myself. And his untimely passing was March  31st of 2019. He was 33 years old, which is a master number. I will also get into the cardology breakdown of Nipsey's energy, but Nipsey was a jack of clubs, solar value in the science of cardology, which is very important because even when I pulled up his grand solar spread for his 33rd year, um, this kind of could have been predicted or anticipated. Um, but let's go ahead and dive in, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Here we go. Okay, so I do want to point out for those that are not familiar, sometimes when you are a psychic channeler, you may pick up the energy that is around the energy or individual you're trying to contact. It could be an ancestor of theirs, it could be a spirit guide that they had when they were, in the flesh. In this case, Nipsey's, because I had such a physical reaction to my first attempt earlier today to trying to do this. Nipsey's guardian angel would have been Rael. And that's who came through to help me. Rael, God ready to rescue, is that angel. And these were some of the bits of information. First of all, the number 61561 comes through. It is a zip code for like Roanoke, Illinois. That is significant for some reason. I do want to point that out. That was like the first thing that came through to me. That was from Nipsey's energy directly before I started having like this physical medium attack. Um, Now back to the automatic writing I did with his guardian angel. I'm going to go through some of it with you guys and probably also just inadvertently channel additional information along the way. So bear with me, okay? Um, Basically, he gave me an overall synopsis, the angel, of what Nipsey was like in this incarnation, this most recent one. And I emphasize this most recent one because his last one was very significant as well, leading into this one. So he would have been someone that would have an aura of wisdom, knowledge, and faith. Huge emphasis is something his angel puts. This is like a huge emphasizer. Also, his guardian angel shared with me that he had a lot of knowledge, premonitions, like developmental like ideas, very Aquarian type, like Aquarian archetype, excuse me. He had like a staunch sense of justice and a like a strong life mission. Also, there is like karma, like karmic energy that I see that was tied to Nipsey that his guardian angel shows me, and it's like having to deal with having like the karma of a god, essentially, like such a life mission, like such a large life mission, like the energy he has is literally like that, similar to that of God. I'm going to get more into that too because I channeled a lot there. His guardian angel goes on to show me how he is the one that inspired Nipsey to develop meditative practices, because people with this particular angel thrive when they do so. So Rael would have implemented like the need and urgency for meditation, because people with this particular angel will see, as the angel shows me, like extreme life improvements, like an extreme enhancement in their quality of life if they learn this specific trait. And this is something that any of us, like you can contact your guardian angels and they all have specialties and things that probably you didn't even know were natural, innate, God-given skills that they can help you with. Rael kind of helped to endow him with a lot more, especially in this human incarnation. But I do want to point out that Nipsey was very, very psychic, like very. I'm talking like his guardian angel showed me like clairvoyance so advanced. He's an eye scanner. Like he can look at you with his eyes, and it's like they play this mask off, like mask off, you know, like that's he could do that. Like he could literally look at people and just with his eyes scan, and it like now this his guardian angel mentioned to me, which I know it's here, but at this point I'm channeling, so we'll go with it. His guardian angel mentioned that there were few people, key people that were sent into his energy, his life, to develop these like sincere, they were not sincere, I'm being fucking facetious, sincere relationships with him. And let me go ahead and throw this out here again, hashtag allegedly, because I don't know any of these people that I'm mentioning here. I don't personally know any of them. I'm a psychic medium channeler. I am going off of the energy that I am picking up. Also, just from previous channelings, astral travels, etc. The communications I have received. So hashtag allegedly. But those who know, know. Okay. So just so we're all on the same page. Now, back to Nipsey and his psychic ability. He can look at you. He can see, like, literally mask off with this. But there were several key people and organizations sent to him to develop sincere relationships. Like I said, they weren't sincere. And there was some sort of glamour magic is what I'm told, like a glamour, some sort of shielding that was put on these people. So that way, because there were these, I'm going to call them the disagreeable forces, were aware of these abilities that he possessed. And had he been allowed to complete like his 30 year of life in its entirety, that would have been it. It would have locked in his ascension like fully, and he would have taken his people with him. We can't have that. That's what I hear. They show. We can't have that. No, that's not an option at all. So again, I just want to. So again, stressing that there was such an advanced level of psychic skill here, it was a threat. Also, there was too much progression here. It was a threat. Too much sovereignty here is what his guardian angel kept going through the list. Like when I wrote these things down on here, too much sovereignty here. That's a threat. We have to eliminate this person. Also, they just truly knew what he was in what energy he was truly an incarnation of. And they repeatedly, like the guardian angel always shows me repeatedly that they're like, we had to take out the Lion of Judah again. That's what they like. They're like, the lion is gone. We had to get rid of the lion. The lion had to go by any means necessary. And they did send in a lot of feminine energy and forces for this. Let me get back on track here, because he's like Nipsey's energy is here, and he's like, okay, let's back on track. a lot of organization and discipline with him. So I could say that whoever experienced him in life, he would very much be like that. A lot of us Leos are very much like that. So he had too much sovereignty, is what his guardian angel expressed to me. He really only had pure happiness when he was in charge of all of his own choices and freedom. Very counterproductive for the industry that he was in. He, however, he's saying like, I don't even want to fucking make music. It's funny because I'm not even any shade, but he's told me repeatedly that he doesn't even really like rap is cool, but it's like I had to do this because the only way as a black man in this world to get any sort of influence or pull is I gotta rap. I gotta be a fucking rapper. That's what was said. So really he's more of like an intellectual type, extremely, extremely smart. He wanted to be more known for his mind, his works, his efforts, and for using his spiritual power that he discovered, which again, problematic. That was very problematic. Using the spiritual power he discovered to basically influence the material world for the benefit of his people. And by people, I mean melanated people as a race. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. That's like anyone also that is like oppressed, essentially. So I don't want to even just say melanated because he really does feel anyone that's oppressed, but more so using his spiritual power and influence to influence the material world. Because his guardian angel stressed to me that he learned how to break free. We did lots of like exercises. He learned how to break free of this material world, this prison, and that was a problem because again, it is counterproductive to the disagreeable forces. So he became a prey, a target. Okay. Now, because of the advanced psychic skill that he had, telepathy, very advanced, very, very advanced. Astral travel capability, very advanced. Psychometry, very advanced. Like he's advanced across the board. I feel like there were a handful of people that were aware of this and monitoring these skills, excuse me, he says, and this was his downfall too. This was one of his downfalls. So he was anticipating this happening, like almost being made a martyr, if you will. He was anticipating this. He just didn't think it would happen in the way it did or how, like when it happened. Yeah, like, and he's kind of like when they like the person they sent in, it's just like that's the best y'all could do. That's what y'all thought I was deserving of. Like, it's kind of that energy. Because again, he anticipated this. He did finally have a realization that certain energies and people were sent to him, and they were basically using glamours. They do. I'm not gonna lie. They do. I'm gonna leave that. He says leave that out. Okay. I'm gonna leave that out. I'm gonna leave that part. I was gonna say something, but he said leave that out. Wow. These people came in and they had glamours, they had shields, but satanic in nature, dark, like dark magic. And that's when the betrayal and the devil crept in. So that was kind of the gist of everything that I got just even through his angel. But like I said, Nipsey's energy is like present now. So we're going to get into, I do have like lots and lots of pages from he and I's automatic writing sessions earlier. So we got about 4 pages, y'all. And whatever, again, he gives me throughout the duration of this. So let's get into it. First thing that comes out immediately, he was telling me, I started writing and he said something about like basically like a counseling, like a meditation sort of, not a meditation, excuse me, a mediation, something along those lines, where he was called up by somebody and almost like berated, like, like, why aren't you getting in line? Why are you so difficult? Why can't you just get in allegiance? But it's crazy because they know very well why he couldn't, because by nature he carries the energy of 9, being a life path 9, like myself, and that's God energy. So it's very hard for him. So he says right now that this is like, basically this was them, these disagreeable forces, trying to check someone that's really fucking uncheckable. Period. Um, that's basically, this is a series, a culmination of a series of attempts. He said he just refused. He's like, I was not gonna act in allegiance or accordance with these motherfuckers. I just wasn't. They don't even have souls. I just wasn't really. I'm not doing it. Also, for those that obvious are not aware, Nipsey had a very high spiritual rank. I'm gonna make that a separate video because that's a whole nother, brings in a whole nother energy in itself. And I can't properly explain his actual like soul origins without doing so. This is solely just about me getting out the information I need to get out that he asked me to get out. So bear with me, y'all. As I'm scanning the automatic writing channeling still. Um, there were people, especially females, around him that were being counseled. They were also being threatened to share what they know regarding him or his spiritual practices, development, movements, ideas, etc. I keep hearing like it is your responsibility to give us everything you fucking know. And I see there's a particular female. I'm not going to say any names because hashtag allegedly, I don't know these people. So those who know. But I literally can hear repeatedly, it's your responsibility to tell us everything you fucking know. And they grab this woman by the face like this. And it's like, if not, we are happy to start taking away things in a little more permanent fashion. So not only were females sent in to infiltrate his energy, but they were then threatened too, because some of them, after he has this energy where it's almost like you can't help but submit. You can see the God in him, so you don't want to even, So it was difficult for some of these people that kind of sold out to sell out because they know that they have soul karmic punishment for this now. So some of them are going to try and make amends for this. So I do want to point that out there. But the females, there are threats. He had to have dealings and relations with these fucking clowns, what he says, people, because he needed to expand his message, right? And work to liberate my people, and they snaked me. So now it was like, I have dangerous enemies amongst these people now too. So he was very aware. He was very aware. And I am gonna like explicitly dangerous people amongst like these fucking demons in the music industry. You guys, this is not anyone that is like not on track here. You probably should exit now. But these nefarious, disgusting people that run this cult that you guys like to call the music industry, okay? Those people, right? Also, he did mention that follow the weapons, the gun use, something about the origin, like the follow the trail, like I don't know, some follow the weapons. He did say that basically his words were turning to gold for those who listened and follow him. Problematic. Next thing, there was like he showed me like the planet Pluto, right? When I was automatic writing, and I was writing it down here. So he showed me the planet Pluto. He anticipated this, felt something. He knew there would be some sort of delays. He felt like he was facing some sort of judgment on the terms of these disagreeables, that is, because he's a detriment. He was a he's like, I still am a detriment to their narrative that they created about his people. He's like, this really is not even no mystery through the science and tools, they're all there. But the same people that are at the forefront of getting acclaim for aiding in like things following his passing, there's some stuff he's telling me to like edit just for kind of my own safety, I guess. Damn. Anyway, I mean, fuck it, whatever. people at the forefront of getting a claim of aiding and like arrangements and things of that nature. Some of these energies or organizations aided in the obstruction um, of truth behind how they did me. That's what he says. Some of these people. So it's like some of these people that are being praised, y'all need to look at double, triple, quadruple fucking times. Okay. Like, seriously. Like, it's crazy because when he gets here, this is like when I get really hot. Like, it starts getting hot in my face and stuff. It's fucking crazy. He said he had to watch his back. He said he was watching his back, but really he needed to watch his front. So, next thing that I wrote when we were automatic writing together, Nipsey and I, he said that they wanted me to be a slave and submit. I would never. So they present as if. So they present as if they can give me elevation. Like basically they tried to, finesse them. You know what I'm saying? And there's someone involved that you guys would never think is involved. And sir, I don't care how many side missions you do in life. I am onto you. I see you. That should be enough, I feel like, for you guys to follow that breadcrumb too. These people presented as if they could give him elevation, but his consciousness was already too developed to even align with them. So this was always going to be the outcome, he says. He was always prepared for this to happen. This was always going to be the outcome, he says. He'd rather grind it out than sell out. That's literally what he rather grind it out than sell out. The next, he was showing me like an image of like a woman, like literally weaving, like and playing a harp. It was like interesting. I don't know. And then a woman and a baby, and there was a significant female involved in weaving in this plan. Again, I'm not going to name any names because, like I said, hashtag allegedly, I don't know these fucking people, but I'm always willing to do a deeper dive reading with more information, but not on these platforms. Maybe an in-person channeling. I don't know, something, but not here. Not here. But trust me, you people have been seen, you've been noted, and it's a wrap for y'all. I hope you guys know. I'm sure most of them, it's funny because he's like, they do. Their lives are slow. It's the decay is setting in. The tower, he shows me, he's like, I know you like your tarot cards. The tower, I'm dying. The tower cards is what he's showing me. I'm dying. That's hilarious. He also pointed out, like, he shows me a sun. When I was automatic writing, he showed me like an image of the sun. Us Leos are the sun. So he learned how to efficiently apply knowledge and energy to basically be able to always create something out of nothing, in a sense. Really. Alchemist. They saw his edification coming, is what he said to me. Like edifying someone, like putting them into like a godlike status. This was happening. This was scaring the fuck out of these people. Like these evil this is what happens when like demons see angels. Oh shit, it's an angel. Like, oh my god. Right? It's kind of like that energy, but instead it's, oh my goodness, we're like the devil, and look, this is God. The Lion of Judah, essentially in front of us. So he says to me, like, no, so now you got somebody that's making too much progress. People looking at me like they see the God in me, which we did. Too much progress, too popular. Like, we're going to send in people to just go ahead and establish some sincere friendships or relationships with this man. And this is what I hinted on earlier. I did write it here about the glamour magic. These people, yeah, like there's some sort of glamour, a satanic form of glamour that was put. Yeah. So it's crazy because right now, like, the ancestors, they come through and they're like, his ancestors as well, this act on his life, like the taking of his life, and them taking his life. This was seen by the ancestors and higher powers of light and as an explicit perversion of God. These are the words that are used, all caps. Explicit perversion of God. So I want you all caps. And that's when I did my automatic writing. That was how I wrote it. For anyone that, that's how I wrote it. Next, basically they showed me there was, damn, he doesn't want me to say that. They basically, metaphorically, they hung him. Obviously, we're aware. But he did tell me that there's like a return coming, like essentially a return to sender, if you will. So those that are involved, he says, I promise. You can anticipate immense financial struggles, social struggles, destruction of image, destruction of many legacies, families falling apart. He's like, we see you. We see you. So I see you. We see you. I see you. It's so those of you that are involved will start sweating right now. I know. So I see the one, you and a particular organization that's always involved in every fucking thing, but is really just one big nefarious weird ass cult too. Um, Particular female energy. And then he shows me 3+1. Something about three. There were three energies people specifically sent out that manipulated him. +1, 3+1, and that equals 4. He breaks it down to me like he sometimes does these things, and it's like he enjoys me having to figure it out. So there were some other things that I did channel. He told me not to say these things yet. So he's the boss, applesauce. I'm not going to say it. But I do keep repeatedly hearing we had to tame the lion, of course. We had to tame the lion, of course. What did you guys think this was? Of course we had to fucking tame the lion. We're built on evil dark forces. We don't want these light forces here. Why? This is counterproductive to everything we're building, right? He emphasizes don't believe social media. There's a lot of things that are like facades on social media. He did his brother Sam. I think I did just recently see. So please don't. I'm not being rude. I just want to make sure I have the right name. Like I'm not. But for his brother, this message is for his brother. I did write this here. He tells me there's like a dependent, like he's depending on his brother, for like true justice, like or truth, not like justice in the sense of truth. He said, like when I channeled, you will be disappointed when you learn the real behind the orchestration, but don't trip. Just get the justice or truth your heart needs. Sometimes we go in order just to return. That's what he says. Sometimes we go just in order to return. So, yeah. But he is always with you, always around you, brother, because I see you because you look very much like him. So he is always with you. It tripped me out at first because I thought it was just like a duplicity of him or something. It was anyway. There's going to be some kind of information or teachings that are going to come to Nipsey's brother that will help support his intuition regarding what he kind of already knows to be truth. But Nipsey's like saying, please reconsider all the facts. All the facts. Like, come on now, reconsider all the facts. But do it with your heart and intuition this time. Be very careful as well. He says you have to be very careful. You got to watch everyone. Keep yourself safe too. He also stresses the need for enhanced spiritual protection. He is able to provide that, but he does want you to take the necessary steps to get additional spiritual protection as well. But he is on top of it. But he does show me it's like between now probably even through Capricorn season, but heavy sight on October 20th and 23rd. Um, October 20th and 23rd, but again, developing forward all the way between now and Capricorn season. There's going to be someone that will have information that they'll want to give to Nipsey's brother. It is a mutually beneficial exchange of information. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's not like this person's solely doing it out of like the goodness of their heart. Because if they were, they would have been fucking gave it up years ago and stopped being a little. Anyway, don't get me started. This person will have information that they will want to give to Nipsey's brother. It will be mutually beneficial for this person, but also karmic release being sought. So that was what I, jot down during our automatic writing. So this person's looking for like a spiritual clearance. They want to pass. It's like the equivalent of like when you decide you're going to cooperate in a trial because you want to get immunity, like that. I don't know that it's going to help your soul, but still hand over the information. We appreciate it. He came through like overall message, of course, for his children, daughter, Imani. He wants her to know that, and his son as well, Cross. I think Cross is with a K. I think I accidentally spelled it here with a C. So give me one. Okay. For his daughter and his son, he wants them to know that he protects them across all space and time. Like, he shows me the Emperor card. He shows me the Emperor card. So he is always going to be that protective father figure. It's just even at a mass or like a grander scale, because he's not bound to this human body. Okay. He wants his children to understand they can always, once they're able to really understand, they can always communicate with him. Baby girl, this beautiful baby girl. Use him as a force to always work magic in her favor. He's gonna always lead you to your highest good. Always. Always. Like having a superly high divine angel working on your behalf. As for his son, he shows me the projection of a king rising. He's going to do great work, good work, excellent work in his father's name, legacy. He holds like the world in his hands. Essentially, he's going to have immense reach. Basically, must be like another extension of Nipsey's energy, but Little Cross is a king rising. Is what Nipsey shows me. So he kind of shows me a projection. Cross looks like he could probably be about like 20 or so. So that's very nice. I love that. That's beautiful. He did just tap me and let me know. Back to his brother. Like, he's very grateful. He's very grateful for what you're doing in his name, in his honor. He just wants you to continue, but safely. Like, he keeps circling back, like, spiritual protection is a must. Please, like, you have, like, he's like going through like a bunch of different spiritual teachings he's learned, but stressing that, here we have free will, so you do have some natural protection, but please make sure you actually use your free will to request spiritual protection. Nipsey's brother. There is like a very prominent individual, West Coast related, because like I said, involved with his direct death, there is female energies. There is a actual organization, which is essentially masking two very other powerful people. And we even have the realm of the reach of sports as well involved here. So people that are powerhouse energies in this entertainment industry, all like three main large energies, 3 + 1 = 4, he keeps saying. So 3 + the 1, leading him to the 4th, which is like, it's heavy on like the horseman energy. I do want to say that it's interesting that he's showing me these horsemen, because I just did a prediction, a breakdown regarding another very popular rapper and a very sadistic, sick music what was a record label executive whose name starts with a L and ends with an N. And he heavily usually tries to like pervert and call up the forces of the four horsemen. And Nipsey is showing me that that is what was done in this case. 3 + 1 = 4. These energies that were supposed to be sincere led him to the horsemen, essentially. Over they were essentially in a sense the horsemen, but now they're about to experience revelations themselves. And that's just what it is. This particular West Coast individual, this was very premeditated. The West Coast popular rapper involved meditated. He calls you a hating ass, sucker ass, fake in my face camaraderie. Like, so the one of the individuals that was key in orchestrating this. Well, there's actually I'm all of the energies involved. I'm not gonna lie. He looks at everybody. He's like treason, treason. Like it's literally that. Like that's no. This was a conjuration of dark forces. He shows me like literal dark magic at play too. Um, like he shows me scorpions coming out from the ground and things like that. But like I said, he anticipated this attack, but it really was this one crucial person who pretended to be like it's like a West Coast camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh Nip, you know, we everything you're doing for the community. Nah, you are a fucking clown. You were this particular rapper turned whatever it is you do. All these side missions in life. That person, you know who you are. I see you. But all in all, he basically said that these forces thought that this would like dissipate the marathon. It would just, and really all it did was like it extended temporarily their probability of making money off of him because of the energy he holds and the spiritual influence, the ability to pull wealth and manipulate the material world with his spiritual energy. Um, it extended their time to be able to eat off him for a little bit without some instruction, but that time is running out. That time is over. I can almost guarantee by the end of this year, there would probably be some sort of additional developments or disclosures regarding those involved here, is what he tells me, but there will be information that will make its way to his brother. Um, and I don't want to, the individual that they show me that it is, I don't want to say it because I'm trying to protect their safety too. But I feel like it might be shocking for his brother for this person to come forward, but it probably won't be shocking for the rest of us that just know how evil these fucking weirdos are. So, yeah, this is. He thought they thought that this would stop the marathon. It stopped nothing. Actually, what they did was it's like now it's like putting a battery in the back. Really, you supercharged it. You played your fucking selves basically. So this was the overall energy that I was able to pick up um, safely. Anyway, this was the energy I was able to pick up safely. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that is like imperative that he might want to get through right now before I wrap this up here. Um, I guess he does want to like point out because I guess for some of his family, just the thought of like maybe a sufferance or anything was very disturbing for them. He says it was pretty quick, like his passing actually. There was like, whatever initial reaction, but his consciousness, like maybe physically his body didn't quite go yet, but his consciousness, because of how advanced he was aware very quickly that like of what had happened and how it had happened. Like he was immediately able to like view externally what was happening. So this is like an indication to me of like a very advanced spiritual being because most people have like a period of shock or something even, and it was like he was immediately like, all right, well, here I am now, let me just go on up on my ascension and I'm gonna just get back to work up here, basically. So um he does also, like, his overall soul origin does feel like maybe at first there was like concern, like, did this incarnation, like, did we have this incarnation too soon? And no, over he doesn't feel like it did, because he feels like everything had to happen the way it did to be a catalyst, to destroy certain organizations and structures and processes that don't serve his people. Um, this really he feels like this amplified a lot of his mission. He wish it could have been a different way, because he doesn't feel like his children should have been cheated in this way at all. But they have very innate, strong spiritual resilience as children, just because of who they are and their spiritual DNA, if you will, essentially. So they're going to just go on to do amazingly great things like their father. Um, so that's it. Like, there's a lot more that I do have, but again, like I said, that's a different, like, with more detail and names, etc. But this is the clean version, okay? How about that? We'll come back for a more explicit version. How about that? We can do that. But all in all, there are many, many, like, even entertainers he's like flashing to me that he's like, wish I never worked with him. Wish I never worked with him. Jay Stone, he loves you. He wants you to put a battery in your back. He's gonna help push you, like, through. Like, you have like some of the most creative energy that's tappable even in this realm, he says, and he wants you to get to the fucking bag, basically. Um, so there's that. He does see that a lot of the people around him have had airs of like depression and struggle. Nipsey just pretty wants to stress to his loved ones. Um, he also is like this huge emphasis on, like, he has a lot of family that isn't family. Then he has some family that isn't family. So there's that. And no disrespect. I mean, no disrespect. This is just what is being said to me. This is what is told. Also, they're like, in the entertainment industry, he wants you to understand that he only really even fucked with a couple people, a handful of people. So there's a lot of people that actually, were a part of the disagreeable forces. So there's that. Back to, like, friends and family grief. He feels that you guys know what his beliefs and everything would have been, concerning death, what his viewpoints were, and he wants you all to find the God in you, the strength in you, and use it to fuel you. The same, like, there's so much, like, he's like, there's so much more efficiency in using your energy for things that help improve my legacy. Like, don't let you can have sadness, you can have grief, you can have longing temporarily. Don't live in it. Like, you can't live. He said you can't own that shit. Like, you can't adopt it. Like, you can't keep it. Experience it and move on, is what he says. Experience it and move on. Experience it as your heart needs and move on. But his energy is very prevalent. So for anyone that is a family member or friend of his that is like having any trouble, find a very, like, a spiritual advisor you really can trust. He has a very large energy that is accessible for those that are of true light. Like, it really is. So there's that. But I just want to say that this is going to be part one of, I'm not sure how many parts at this point, at least a part one of probably 3. The next video, I will go through some of his soul origins as well. And then we'll figure out somewhere to have part 2 or B of this reading. Because like I said, this is the more clean version. And if you guys want one with more detail and names, etc., that were in people, like, I know everyone involved, like, I see you, and you fucking people are evil, and you will pay for this. Like, that's just it. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. But I thank you all for listening. Thank you for Nipsey. So we're going to get into the cardology of Nipsey Hussle. In terms of the signs of cardology, Nipsey was born August 15th, which makes him a jack of clubs. This is the card of speaking your truth with authority and becoming an authority in it, having a nimble mind and tongue, hip-hop, spoken word, rising above poverty, becoming a philanthropist, creative thought, and on the low end of this card, dishonesty. The app utilized here is Aquarius Maximus's Cardology Pro app. So for those interested, you're able to access that at her website, aquariusmaximus.com. Now, continuing on with Nipsey, being a jack of clubs, the wizard of the word, right? This is a significant card, and I wanted to not so much dwell on the energy of the card itself, but specifically the solar spread that Nipsey was set in for the 33rd year of his life. In cardology, you're giving an overall life spread for your entire life. This is the hand you're dealt, if you will. You can see that here on what would be the left-hand side of your screen. On the right-hand side, we are getting into the grand solar spread, and that is done per year. The cards kind of shuffle a little bit. Your sun card will always remain the same. However, you will displace and kind of take up different energies. So that is what I want to highlight currently. Nipsey's spread for the 33rd year of his life. Again, I'll go over his overall life spread in a separate video that will come out. So again, focusing on the right-hand side, we have a 33-year-old jack of clubs, which was Nipsey. Here's a more expanded view. There are a few key things that immediately stand out to me for his 33rd year, and that's his Pluto card and his result card. Also, the moon card gets an honorable mention here. So now, as you see here, I keyed in on the 5 of spades and Pluto. The 5 of spades is going to have a lot of these traits here you see in front of you. Zoning in on violent endings, okay? Also, like stalking or being stalked, which he was. Sudden changes. There are a lot. This is essentially even in essence an earthquake in itself. So Pluto ruling death, the underworld, etc. This would have been something very much on his radar as well, but something that could have been forecasted also. Now zoning in on his result card. For the 33rd year of life as a jack of clubs, Nipsey had a 4 of clubs result card. This was interesting to me because this is the card of a spiritual medium also, which he was. Big dreams and ideas, astral travel, vivid dream state, all of these things which he had mastered. Intelligence, obviously. Mental peace as well. So this also freedom, which is exactly what the disagreeable forces didn't want. They didn't want this result. I mentioned this during the channeling that if he would have completed his 33rd year of life, it would have locked in an ascension for him and his people, a sense of freedom. This result could never be achieved. It could be achieved. That was the concern. They wanted to thwart this in any way possible, though. The 4 of clubs freedom he would have achieved would have completely complemented his 9 of diamonds and Mercury. The 9 of diamonds is the card of the entire African diaspora, melanated people. So you guys see where that was going. That was his overall mission. And that was the reason as well. One of the driving forces behind why these forces so badly wanted to remove his energy from this physical plane. So I wanted to give you guys a brief cardology overview just to kind of also get different insight from a different, sort of tool to support the channeling that was given a little earlier. I want to thank everybody so much for listening and for being willing to receive this information from Nipsey's energy. I give gratitude to Nipsey's energy, his family, friends that truly, truly support him. I send you all love, and I thank everyone so much just for tuning in. Also, lots of loves to Nipsey's children. Again, I thank you guys, and please be sure to keep his family lifted in prayer always. I thank everyone. Have a great day, y'all.